The Boy Who Spoke the Truth. In a quiet neighborhood with cherry blossom trees, a young boy named Makoto loved to play outside. Today, he was practicing his soccer kicks in the backyard. He felt like a professional athlete, aiming his ball at an imaginary goal against the garden fence. He was full of energy and joy as he kicked the ball high into the air. Suddenly, the ball took a wild bounce. It flew past the fence, soared through the air, and headed straight for the large living room window. Crack! The sound was loud and sharp. Makoto stood frozen as he watched the beautiful glass spiderweb into 100 tiny pieces. The garden felt very quiet all of a sudden. Makoto's heart began to beat very fast, like a little drum in his chest. He looked at the broken window and then at his ball. He was scared. He knew he wasn't supposed to play soccer so close to the house. He imagined his parents getting upset, and a heavy feeling settled in his stomach. Maybe I can say it was a stray cat, Makoto whispered to himself. He began to imagine a story about a giant bird or a sudden gust of wind that knocked a flower pot through the glass. It would be so easy to make up a story. If he lied, maybe he wouldn't get into trouble at all. But as Makoto thought about the lie, the heavy feeling in his stomach grew even heavier. He remembered what his teacher said. A lie is a knot that's hard to untie. He took a deep breath, picked up his soccer ball, and decided he didn't want any knots today. He turned toward the back door, his mind made up. Makoto walked into the kitchen, where his mother, Hana, was busy preparing tea. The room smelled like fresh mint. Hana looked up and smiled, but she noticed right away that Makoto looked very serious. She put down her teapot and waited for him to speak. "Mom," Makoto said, his voice trembling just a little bit. "I was playing soccer too close to the house, and my ball hit the living room window. I broke the glass. I'm very sorry." He looked down at his shoes, waiting for her to be angry, but the kitchen remained quiet. Just then, his father, Ren, walked into the kitchen. He had heard the sound of the glass and Makoto's confession. Makoto looked at his father and repeated the truth. He explained exactly what happened, without making any excuses or blaming the wind or the birds. Ren and Hana looked at each other and then smiled at their son. "We are sad about the window," Ren said, "but we are very proud of you, Makoto. It takes a lot of courage to tell the truth when you are afraid. Because you were honest, we know we can always trust you." Together, they went outside to safely clean up the glass. Makoto learned that while a window can be fixed, trust is something much more precious that you build with your words. From that day on, Makoto knew that the truth was always the best path to take. Truth builds trust, and trust builds a happy home.